Hi everyone! Today I am flying a free parts rocket. 1, 2, free. Free parts. The main trick, this rocket has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. I set this up so that this has the bare minimum of, even though this is very unaerodynamic, it actually has the bare minimum of drag for any missile in this game, which is pretty neat. This is the biggest fuel tank that this engine can carry, and this also has a built-in fuel tank, so basically this is the normal design for the free part challenge. I'm not very good at the game though, so I'm just going to Kerbin orbit and back. Jebediah is a 5-star pilot, so he's the only one capable of flying this monstrosity of a rocket. Blasting through Kerbin's atmosphere. So I'm doing a gravity turn, and that's why I'm falling off to the side. This basically is a fuel saving technique, and it works very, very well. If you want to get into orbit in Kerbal Space Program, use a gravity turn. They are quite simply awesome. Also, make sure you orbit the rocket going this way, because that's the way. Because the way that the rocket flies now is the way that Kerbin rotates. So that's a plus. So we are officially we are nearly out of the atmosphere. I'm pointing the rocket slightly down, so that this line is where the rocket will go. So that is there. So even though it says orbit here, we're not quite in orbit. We have to have this line going all the way around Kerbin, and we have very little fuel left, so have to be very efficient. And just like that, we are out of the atmosphere of Kerbin. So, Jeb is just gonna wait and play on his iPhone or something, because there's no science equipment. This rocket can literally do absolutely nothing. This rocket has absolutely no purpose, but just to be a challenge to fly, to make and fly. So, that's very interesting. Anyway, so now I have to set up a maneuver node. These are usually used to go to other planets and stuff like that, but I have to. I think they're easier to deorbit. I think one of the easiest things to do with them is deorbit. So we still are lowering our orbit to not enough. So we have to have it so it's a bare minimum. So it'll barely make contact with Kerbin. Anyway, now we're gonna point our rocket using SAS. So once it's finished rotating, that's when we will use this button here, which will skip to our maneuver node. Okay. The rocket has almost stopped rotating. It has stopped rotating. And now, so I press the button. So this is now because this rocket has no parachute, we're gonna have to do something very interesting. And this would not be possible if it wasn't for a update that happened about a few years ago. Anyway, so I'm just gonna use So we are, as you can see now, it's pretty close. We still have a bit of fuel left, so I guess we could continue using our deorbit, so. But I need a little bit of fuel just to save a maneuver, just so that we can slow this thing down. So, anyway, oops, something just fell. Anyway, if I time warp, I have to point the rocket in just the right way. Have to be very, very careful. Let's just get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Okay. So this rocket, our free part rocket, because each time you use this, each thing highlighted is a different part, so it's free parts. Anyway, so once temperature gauges start to appear, because you can't have a heat shield with this challenge, because you need a bare minimum of, because you need a fuel tank, so. There's a trick I used in one of my space station deorbit videos. Which is spinning. So, if you ever watch Star Wars, if you ever watch the prequel series of Star Wars, Anakin wasn't wrong. Spinning is actually a good trick in spaceflight. Anyway. So, as you can see, we have no way of slowing down the rocket. But that doesn't exactly matter. We can, if I inject, Jebediah, inject! He doesn't look very happy, but if I deploy shoot, they have their own parachutes from a recent update. But now this rocket is completely uncontrollable, and we can't save a single part of it. But we can at least save our Kerbal. So I'm pressing shift, which is the button that usually makes your rocket throttle up, but there's nobody driving it, so. I actually was testing this rocket. That was what's happening. You know, explosions. So now we're just gonna time warp, and I'll try to land on that hill, or should they call it a mountain? I don't know, because it's kind of like the size of a mountain, but compared to the other mountains, it's more like a hill. So this is a really neat self-parachute, because so the mountain right in front of us, wish you could click on what the Kerbals we're seeing. That'd be really neat. I had to do a loop. Oop. I'm flying backwards. Uh-oh. We stalled. Yeah, I'm not gonna reach that mountain. But I think I can reach that rock or cactus. Cactus. Yeah, it's a rock. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a rock. And oh, we missed. We missed. Turn around. Ow! Jeb, are you okay? Oh, he's fine. Now I have to run to that rock, because that's our chosen landing site. And the rocks are completely just decorations. You can walk inside them. Anyway, let's plant our flag. So, Jeb has slided quite a bit. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And